Order. Prayer. Almighty God, ruler of heaven and earth, we beseech thee to inspire and guide all our counsels and actions, so that we may always walk in the path of justice, love, and charity to one another. Help us with thy grace to do only things that will promote the unity, happiness, and prosperity of Nigeria. Amen. Introduction. Senators, honorable chairman of this committee, the co-chairman, members of the House of Committee on Regional Development, the Honorable Minister of Regional Development, and members of the managerial team, members of the press, ladies and gentlemen, I warmly welcome you to this joint sitting of the Senate and the House of Representative Committees on the Regional Development in the year 2026. The session is significant. It marks our first formal convergence this year to examine the 2026 budget proposal of the Ministry of Regional Development. More importantly, it provides an opportunity to reaffirm our collective resolve to reposition the region's clear alignment with the President's Renew Hope agenda. Distinguished colleagues and stakeholders, regional development remains central to national stability, economic growth, and social cohesion. The expectations of Nigerians across various regions are highly. They expect infrastructure that works, interventions that are timely, and development initiatives that are inclusive and sustainable. Therefore, every budgetary allocation must translate into visible and verifiable outcomes. As legislators, our responsibility is unambiguous. Every kobo appropriated must deliver visible impact. Each program funded must be strategically aligned. Every project executed must reflect accountability, transparency, and measurable value. For this reason, the 2026 budget must not exist in isolation. It must be fully aligned with the President's Renew Hope agenda, anchored on economic revitalization, infrastructure expansion, job creation, social inclusion, security, and institutional reforms. Being our first sitting of this year, the joint session set the tone for 2026. We must transit decisively from a culture of budget approval to a culture of budget performance. The people of the regions no longer measure progress by announcement or groundbreaking ceremonies. They measure progress by completed roads that reduce travel time, functioning water schemes that improve public health, rehabilitated schools that enable learning, protected shorelines that perceive communities, and meaningful jobs that restore dignity. In 2026, our benchmark must be outcomes, not intentions. Accordingly, as the Ministry defends its budget, we expect clarity and precision. We expect 1, clear implementation frameworks, define key performance indicators, milestone-based expenditure plans, risk mitigation strategy, structured stakeholder engagement model. All these are our expectations in the process of this budget presentation. Performance must be predictable, measurable, and reportable. Oversight must be consistent, evidence-based, and constructive. Accountability must not be perceived as antagonism. It is stewardship. Development of the region should not be partisan. It is national. When the Senate and the House speak with one voice on matters concerning the region, we reinforce the seriousness of purpose that development demands. Our collaboration strengthens oversight, harmonizes priorities, and ensures coherence in legislative action. Let us sustain this synergy throughout 2026 in appropriations, in oversight visits, in stakeholder engagements, and in performance reviews. The strength of our institutions lies not only in debate, but in disciplined follow-through. We must insist that this year's budget reflects seriousness of intent and clarity of direction. Each project should have a defined timeline, a measurable deliverable, and a transparent procurement process. Reporting mechanisms must be strengthened. Monitoring must be systematic. Impacts must be demonstrated. Distinguished colleagues, history will not record the volume of pages in our budget document. It will record the transformation we enabled. Let 2026, for one reason, be the year we elevate oversight from formality to force. Let it be the year abandoned projects move from paper to completion. Let it also be the year of performance will become non-negotiable. Let it be the year that all the region experiences the tangible dividends of the President's Renew Hope agenda. The people of the region deserve development that is visible, the development that is measurable and sustainable. They deserve infrastructure that works, institutions that deliver, and leadership that listens. I therefore call upon every legislator present, synchronize with diligence, debate with objective, appropriate with freedom, monitor with integrity, and demand results with courage. Let us ensure that in 2026, no visible project stalls for lack of attention, no community is sidelined in planning or execution, no appropriation is wasted through inefficiency, no promise is left untouched. The people of regions are watching, the nation is watching, and indeed, history is watching. Together, let us convert the budget into completed road that connects markets, protected shoreline, that preserve homes, revitalize schools, that empower children, thriving enterprises that employ our youth, and restore confidence that strengthens national unity. May this joint sitting make the beginning of a year defined not rhetoric, but by result, not merely by allocation, but by achievement delivered, not by promises made, but by promises kept. Thank you for commitment and dedication. Thank you, everybody.
My deputy was unavoidably absent. Distinguished colleagues, our guest, the minister, and Chukwudi Biago. Gentlemen, these are my remarks at the joint budget defense meeting of the House of the Senate and the House of Representatives on Regional Development Committee. I welcome you all to this 2025-2026 budget performance. Is 2025 budget performance and 2026 budget defense section for the Ministry of Regional Development. You will recall that on Friday, 19th December 2025, His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu presented the 2026 budget proposal to a joint sitting of the National Assembly. Also recall that before the presentation of the 2026 budget proposal, Mr. President had on 16th December 2025 transmitted to the National Assembly the appropriation, that's the repeal and reenacted bill 2024-2025, which essentially consolidated the 2024 and 2025 Appropriation Acts that were running concurrently at the time. The aim of Mr. President was to bring an end to the practice of running multiple budgets concurrently and also ensure enhanced performance rates on the 2024 and 2025 budgets. We commend Mr. President for that strategic move and hope that it will indeed bring an end to overlapping fiscal cycles and improve capital project execution within the stipulated timelines. In today's budget defense section, which is 2026, we would like the Honorable Minister to brief this joint committee on the status and level of implementation of the 2024 to 2025 Consolidated Appropriation Act. We are aware that only 30% of the capital components of the repealed 2025 Appropriation Act were rolled into the Consolidated Appropriation Act. This committee would like to know the level of implementation of the 30% component. Furthermore, the committee would also like to know the level of implementation of the 2024 Appropriations Act and the 2025 Supplementary Appropriation Act before they were repealed and consolidated in new 2024-2025 Appropriation Act. Honorable Minister, the committee is curious as to why the budget of the ministry is still being referred to as the budget of the Ministry of Niger Delta Development instead of the regional development. It has been over 15 months since Mr. President scrapped the Ministry of Niger Delta Development. So why is the scrapped name still appearing in all your dealings? Once again, I welcome you all to this budget defense section and wish us fruitful deliberations. Thank you very much and welcome.
Legislature activities, but because we have started, we have to make everything very snappy. Yeah. So while we are doing that, we should stand for 1 minute and observe
in honor of, what's the name?
That is Senator Oke Esa.
My name is Adams Aliu Shomole. I represent the people of Edo North. Honorable Minister, you are welcome.
Senate and House of Representatives Committee on Regional Development. Distinguished members of the Senate, that is the Vice Chairman and my leader, Comrade Adams Oshomole, all honorable members here present. I welcome you to this session of Budget Defense 2026. I want to make it clear that what I'm going to defer today is a document, of course, that was handed over to me, and I'm sure you are all conversant to the fact that this year's budget preparation was not really very much in the hands of the ministry. And we're also given to understand that there was a conversation between the National Assembly and the Budget Office. If I didn't have opportunity to be here 2 days ago to interface with the chairman of the committee, I would really not have been able to speak to anything, because up to 2 days ago, I never saw the document that is budgeted for us. We were only told that this year we should not bother, that the 2025 budget will be rolled over 70%, and that 30% will be implemented before March ending. That brings me to answer the question that was asked by the chairman of the committee. Yes, we were told that 30% of the 2025 components will be implemented before 30th March this year. It's important to let you know that for us in the Ministry of Regional Development, we have not received a dime from that 30%. Hopefully, we will be told that before 31st, that 30% for the capital project will be released to the ministry and all other ministry. The implication of that is that in terms of performance of the 2025 budget is as you approve it last year. So if you see the document before you, it's nil. So we have not received anything on account of that 2025 so far. But for 2024, the total capital budget for 2024 was, where do you have it here? 2024. This 25.
The first bit.
Okay. The total provision for 2024 was 24.8 billion, and the amount that was released up to, as I'm talking, is 46%, less than 50% of 2024. So what that means is that, page 3, what that means is that we have a standing of about 54% in the 2024 and 100% in the 2025. So we only hope and pray that before 31st December, some of this money will be released to the ministry to enable us carry out the programs and projects as approved by the National Assembly in 2024 and 2025. Then for 2026, if you go to down inside the book and where is the document? What page? The one.
The summary is on page 1.
What page?
The summary.
Okay.
Page 1.
At page 1, you can get the summary of 2026. What is this page 1?
The summary.
The personnel is 3.13 billion, overhead 6 billion, capital 70 billion.
Page 1.
That's the first page. And that 17.417 billion is 70% of the 24 billion that was appropriated by the National Assembly last year. That's 70%. It's important to let you know that the component of recurrent year, which is 3 billion, is only being captured in the ministry, but the ministry does not really get involved in terms of payment of personnel. It is handled centrally. So, but the money, the amount is always captured in the ministry budget. And of course, what is contained here, everything here, is as appropriated for the ministry by the budget office. You know, in the past, there used to be call circular, which of course we received this year, But the core circular this year did not allocate any envelope to any of the ministry. The envelope for the ministry is as was forwarded to you by the budget office, which copy I'm only opportune to get when I came here 2 days ago. So I think that is the position as far as 2026 is concerned. So in summary, 2026 is a rollover of 70% of the appropriated money for 2025. And the only thing that is new there is recurrent. And that was also put there by the budget office. Then the chairman asked a question as to why up to now the name Ministry of Niger Delta is still being reflected in the documents. Well, of course, severally we have made this presentation and we have spoken to them even in the budget office, and I told them perhaps it's an attempt to actually escape provision or to provide for the ministry as a regional development, because what is provided in the budget of the ministry from last year and this year is always on Niger Delta. But here we are regional development cutting across all the regions. So on several occasions, I've made that very clear to them in the budget office and also other places. But unfortunately, that has not been reflected. So this year again, if you take a look at the budget, it is a budget of Niger Delta ministry. So of course, to answer that question is far beyond me, because I have done what is necessary, but there has not been any change up to now. Having said that, distinguished senators and honorable members, I'm privileged and thank you to be here with you this afternoon on this budget affair. So I expect if there are questions and the rest of them, I'm positioned to answer so that we can proceed further on the conversation for this very budget. Thank you very much.
The 30% we are talking about, have you got a warrant for it? Have you received warrant for it?
You mean no warrant? Talk more of cashback. No warrant at all.
Okay, just we said we need to put down. You need to put down something. Just put down.
Let me explain something to you on this. By the time we were told that 30% was going to be released, we pressed so hard, even in the budget and the Ministry of Finance. I said, we haven't received warrants. The Minister of Finance told me that they have issued warrants to all the ministries. I insisted that I want to see the warrant. He brought the document, but behold, what was contained in the warrant for the ministry was just about 675 million.
9 million.
Okay, 9 million. So, million now. So, for me, I don't want to tell you the part. So, upon that, myself, I now approach the budget office and I met the DG. I said, look, we haven't even got a warrant for 30% that is said to be released within a specific period. What is going to be the situation? He agreed with me that for ministry like me that has not received warrant or a dam for 2025, they will need to roll over everything in 2025 to 2026 in order to avoid litigation, since they are fully aware that 2025 budget has been awarded and just like that. So, unfortunately, when the budget, I received this yesterday from National Assembly, I discovered that it's still 70%. That's why I made that statement that if it is only this 70% that is released, and that 30% is that, it means we are 2025, we are going to be in short of 30% in 2026, in addition to what we already lost in 2024, which is about 50%. So that is the situation.
and co-chair, distinguished colleague, and honorable members. Just to share with you what I've observed in all the committees I've participated in, including the Accountant General of the Federation at a joint sitting yesterday with the Finance Committee. We all observed that, having listened to all the MDAs that we have met in the course of this budget defense, whereas this was communicated to us in the Senate and I believe in the House, that we are extending the budget by 3 months up to March 31st. And during this period, the 30% will be released, and then the remaining 70% will be automatically reappropriated into the 2026 budget. However, we all observed, having heard from all the MDAs, that even at that, the money has not, the 30%, they are yet to commence releasing it. As a consequence, we said it doesn't make much sense, Accountant General, for us to continue to appropriate when you will not implement. When we have assurances at the highest level of the minister and the coordinating minister of the economy to the effect that this will be done before 31st March. That was why we did repeal and reenactment to give it life. And we said now, unless they postpone March by some invisible powers, it will come within the next 6 weeks. And we are beginning to ask ourselves that this was how December 31st was mentioned, that they will do this 30%. They couldn't postpone December 31st, and now we are in February. So we said it's a matter of practice. If for whatever reason we can't do what has been promised, then it makes no sense on our part. It doesn't justify our sitting, even on the day that we are burying a colleague, to have debates that will translate to nothing. Exactly. Therefore, yesterday we said to the Accountant General, his budget is deferred. Because there is no need, if the office is not working, there's no need to appropriate for the office. So that is what we said yesterday. So this situation is not peculiar, the point I'm making, to the Ministry of Niger Delta, of Regional Development. But also, initially I was saying, is this the South-South Development Commission? And I was saying, no. The thing is that I haven't seen the evidence that in the 2026, if that is general principle, there was nothing for the Regional Development Commission that have been set up. So they are there on paper, but I'm not too sure. Here, I repeat, I am not sure, no facts to convince me that some money has been allocated to the agencies. So if the agencies exist on paper, because Niger Delta, the Ministry of Niger Delta has been created long ago. So I think that is the issue. I just hope that between now and March 31st, we'll be able to achieve what they could achieve in 12 months or in 14 months. And we also said the man who appeared before us was like, whether it's a defense or it's a striker, he will say, well, the minister says, minister didn't say, it's okay, we better see the headmaster himself, the Minister of Finance and the coordinating Minister of the Economy, as well as the Minister of State for Finance, so that they can again tell us why things remain the way they are. I didn't hear any exception from all the agencies we have spoken to. So, and my suggestion, therefore, Chairman, is not a motion, it's a suggestion, is that as we decided that the Finance Committee, Joint Finance Committee, that maybe when we see the minister on Monday, he will give us an update. Because if in the end, the 30% is not implemented, then the idea that you are rolling back 70% means that 30% have been amputated. And that has consequences for all the projects in 2025. So that will be that is my observation, and it's for the House to decide. Thank you, Chair, for the opportunity.
Thank you. The issue of overhead. In fact, it's as if you stole my question, but I would just add a little to it. Yes, you spoke about the 70%. That has to do with capital. But for the overhead, I noticed that maybe it was a deliberate act, but there was nothing in the book that has to do with overhead presentation to this committee. At least we should be able to see something that has to do with overhead. You only put capital throughout here, and for a budget defense without, presentation of your overhead, I don't think this book is complete. So that's my observation of it.
Having listening to respected colleagues and distinguished senators, and having gone through the proposal made by Ministry of Regional Development, I think what I want to suggest, I want to move a motion for the minister to respond to the question raised, and based on what distinguished Senator Adams Oshomole make mention, is for the committee to accept this document as a working document at the two secretariat. So if we have any cause to call the minister back, in case releases are made or not made, we will now have to call the minister to appear against, before the committee. But for now, we should accept this as the working document for both joint committee and allow him to answer the few questions, then we adopt this and take it. So I want to use the opportunity to move a motion that the committee do accept this along with the response of the minister as working document for the joint committee. I so move. Thank you.
Thank you very much. The chairman and co-chair, honorable colleagues, our guests, Honorable Chief Dr. Billy Famous Adesuwa Sawaru is my name. I represent the good people of Orion Federal Constituency of Edo State, a very proud Benin chief. I hereby second this motion, ably moved by my colleague. I so second.
Questions are same. Talking of overhead, like I said when I started, if I didn't have opportunity to come here yesterday, I won't even know what is in this document. What is here is as prepared for us by the budget ministry, the office. So I don't know what to add, because on a very serious note, I was very shocked here 2 days ago, because this is my director of finance. He has visited that office more than 3 times. I said, please, if they have completed this 70% and over, go there, let us have it for purpose of defense. He has gone there several, he didn't so what we are asking for, you can even get it in this book, is as was set to the National Assembly, not as was said to us. So if you see any appropriation here on account of overhead, they use their discretion to do that. If the rise you have seen, perhaps from my own thinking, when I started to analyze it yesterday, is perhaps they discovered that we were operating under the Niger data with that very overhead. And now there's regional development, and one is expected to be in all the regions. That will come with cost. But I want to let you know that even at then, the ministry was not part of appropriating the subhead in this overhead. So they said that that is what we have, and we have accepted it like that. So on a very serious note, my coming here today is to plead with the members of the National Assembly to kindly assist if there is any way out to ensure that that 30% we are able to get it, so that we know that it's only one year, 2026. We know we don't have it. Because once we get that 30%, we know that all those contractors this year for 2025 will be able to do it. But I forgot one thing. When they were about prepared budget, even before MTF, I also had interface with the Minister of Finance. I said, as at then, the budget of our ministry is even less than 20%, 2024. What is going to happen with all this contract? He said that the agreement is that what is outstanding in 2024 will be charged into service-wide vote. So I feel I have to let you know, because I wouldn't know at what level the committee will also know what is being chaired. Because I even asking me, service-wide vote is no man vote. How do we, as a ministry, be able? Okay. So I just wanted to let you know, because for 2024, I have, like you have seen here, it's only 46%. So we still have 54%. So my understanding and my belief is that the explanation by the finance minister that 2024 will be charged to service-wise vote, I hope. Otherwise, if it's not, it means all those 2024 projects that are ongoing cannot be realized. So I just say, let me add it to what has been asked before. Thank you very much.
The information was getting to you late. Discuss that one with your team, right? If we are getting it and they are not getting it, so find out from them. And now that you have it, you also need to get to the root of it, so that we are talking on the same page. So having said that,
let me just greet you.
You want to greet? The vice chairman said.
Yes. So I just want to, I didn't plan to talk because we have gone through so many committees and it's the same thing all through. So I am Amos Yohana, I represent Adamawa North, and I am the vice chair of the committee. What we are talking about is very, very serious. I just want to put it across to you that the permanent secretary of the State House appeared before us on Wednesday in our other committee. And to everybody's surprise, that even the State House has the same problem with you, if not worse. So it's not, we can sit here and lament forever, but the solution is elsewhere. So I think what we should do is to just uphold the motion that is on ground and let us accept this paper and work on it. If there is need to invite the Honorable Minister for clarification on other items, which he already says he doesn't know anything about.
That time he will have known.
But by that time he will have studied the book, if there is any need. If there is no need, that is how the thing will pass. So let us not sit here and continue to lament, because the permanent secretary in the seat of government is also complaining the same. Thank you.
So, which question is it?
Question to have that motion on ground, you know. Uphold the motion.
Okay.
The question.
Distinguished senators, co-chair, and members too. Based on the motion on ground, if we do not have any dissenting voice to it, as moved, so I want to move to that we should adopt this project. I mean, this budget as presented, this budget proposal as presented to us. based on the motion move and supported by our colleague too. So if we do not have any dissenting voice to it, can we ask the question put in place that if this motion, I mean the proposal should be adopted as moved? Thank you very much. Thank you. It's moved. So AOB.
Oh, we are not going.
No.
We are finished now.
We are finished
What is
now.
AOB in budget?
So on this note, move the motion for adjournment.
Please, Matthew, that's a new motion for adjourn.
This meeting is hereby adjourned sine die.
I need to see you.